evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Met on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with mass scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain, transmit on 70 centimeters, a crossband repeater, and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. Anybody wanting information about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society can go to our page on the internet. Google in WW7ATS or WW7ATS. That'll take you to our home page and give you information about our organization and how to stream the video from our sessions that we have. So with that, I'll pause. Again, this is Dave, KD7CYM. In case anybody has an emergency contact and needs to make a contact before the night gets fully underway. Being on again, this is Dave, KD7CYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. So far checked in by video already is Ron, KD7PKU, Jessica, KF7UHK, Bert, N7CS, Richard, K7ITS, and myself, Dave, KD7CYM. Is anybody else who would like to check into the net?
Good evening, Dave, WW7ATS.
And we have WW7ATS. James, thanks for checking in. Again, anybody else wish to check in? Moving on, let's go up to the top of the list and start out the video with Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, well thank you, KD7ZYM in the group. This is KD7QKU. Well, let's see, it was kind of eventful the last few days. Our cat has been kind of sick, so we tried to take her to the doctor. We couldn't get any appointments with anybody around here. So there was an emergency clinic down by, I guess, Lakeview, or whatever it is down south. And so it was walk-in, so we went down there and there was a sign saying that don't come in, call this phone number. And the wait time is 9 to 10 hours. So we called the number, nobody would answer, so I went in. And that was just fine. They put her on the list. Said it'd probably be about an hour. An hour turned into about 4 or 5 hours. It was terrible. But anyway, so I guess her kidneys are getting bad. And so she's 14 years old, I found out. I mean, time flies. So anyway, yeah, so that's kind of what we did the other night. We probably didn't get out of there. We left here about 1:30 and went down there, and then I don't think they wanted to keep her when they finally got her in there and run blood tests and stuff. Then they said it'd be a couple hours, so we came home, had dinner, and then went back down when they called the daughter, but we didn't get it all done until about 10 o'clock. So that's what happens when you have no tests, I guess. Back to that, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, and that also acknowledges me instead of AC as signed on. So let's go to Jessica, KF7UHK.
KF7UHK, Jessica, up here in Everett, and I send my condolences and my good thoughts to your kitty cat. Yeah, that's what happens. But you know your cat's probably got the best of his 14 years with you guys, and I'm sure it did. My kitty cat went for the same reasons, and it was absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. And I had just retired when my kitty cat died, and so that even made it even harder. So all of a sudden I was going to be at home and with no kitty cat to keep me company. That was just tough. But yeah, there's lots of kitty cats that need homes. So if kitty cat goes away, there's more out there that need friendly people like you to take care of them. Let's see, my weather guesser says just a cloud, big old cloud, as opposed to last week it was the cloud and the sun on the screen. So it looks like rain is coming. it looks like a 62% relative humidity inside our condo, and 76 degrees. I don't know why it's so hot over here, but it is. We went up to Mount Vernon today and hung out there with a friend of ours who comes up and does gardening for different people's houses, and he worked on ours today, putting down a little patio in an area that we call it the hot dog eating area because it has nice shade next to our garage. So when it's sunny out, you can go sit up next to this garage and nice shade to sit there in. And so it's looking really, really beautiful. And then these guys work so hard. They come over from Eastern Washington. They used to live over here, but they bought a house over there. So with that, I'm going to pass it back. This is Jessica, KN7. You guys okay?
Yes, that's really great, Jessica. Thanks for that. Let's go to Port Angeles to Lee, M7KC, and see if we got any contact going.
Connected, M7KC.
Okay, M7KC in Port Angeles. Thanks, guys. Okay. Well, I guess I'm in. Echo for the most part right now is extremely noisy. Popping, just a constant popping sound, I could barely hear you. And then it would stop, just be perfect, just very nice, do that again, reset. Anyway, well, good evening to everybody. I don't know if there's anybody that I'm all checked in that I don't see. A couple of new things over here in the last couple of days. Today, a little bachelor ran through the neighborhood. So that's kind of fun. I didn't get to see it, but our neighbor sent a video of it. And it's not a full grown, maybe 2/3, something like that. And it has to come in on the Olympic Discovery Trail, I imagine. I don't know, But anyway, so it was right here. And then yesterday, we went down, it was a beautiful day here, we went down to the hook to watch the fishing boats come in. Yesterday was a fishing day, and at the dock down there, it's really fun to watch all the people bring their boats in and all that stuff. Well, we're down there, parked right by the floating docks. They have two of them. And we noticed that on the end of one of the floating docks were 4 river otter, 3 pups and a mom. And the pups were not as big as mom, 2/3 maybe as big as mom. They were these year's pups. And they were having just the best of the time on that wooden deck. They were rolling on it and rubbing on it and all that. And then they go in the water and then they get out. One end of the dock kind of was a little closer to the water than another one. And they would go in the water, then they get out and so forth. Well, by and by, a boat comes in, it's going to land at that dock. And so we said, oh boy, these things will scatter. Well, it didn't scatter. In fact, when the people got out of the boat, they're standing there, Mama and her 3 pups come up with about 3 feet of them, I think, wanting some fish. And, and I think the people were a little concerned, they were starting to move back, they didn't know what was going to happen there. Anyway, so, I'm out of time. I better say it. M7KC, Little Port Angeles. Thanks, you guys. M7KC, Lee, thanks for that. Let's move on to Bert, M7CS.
Okay, hello, good evening, everyone. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I moved around my radio today, so it's in a different location in my shack. I got one of the, I took my radio and put it in a rack, a computer rack, so maybe I'll show that the next round, the way it looks in there. But what else have I been up to? I've tried buying one of these little gadgets. It's like $10, $12. It's supposed to allow you to pipe in audio and plug it into one of these audio adapters, and then it's like a sound card, so you can hear what you have on the radio and the computer. I thought I would give that a shot to see if maybe it would make the audio quality on Zoom, on the video conference better for the people from Portland if they happen to come in. But I did a test a little earlier today, and the audio quality was quite terrible. So probably, I guess that's what you get for a $12 gadget. I probably need something like an equalizer or something. Anyway, that's probably it for now. This is Brent Mansfield, M7CS. Back to that.
M7CS, good. Thanks for that information. I guess something for $20 would be much better. Who knows what the pricing is and the quality that you're going to get out of China. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Okay, well, I think that mysterious noise was, I was unmuting so that Lee could hear me. In fact, I'll do that right now, just because Lee was saying he was having trouble hearing, so I thought, well, then I'll just unmute, and sometimes that just helps things out a little bit. So those of you who want to avoid feedback might consider making sure you turn down the Zoom audio for that reason. Okay. Well, I might as well get right to the chase. Wednesday was Wednesday. You know how they say bad news can come in threes? Well, the trouble is when you first get the first bad news, you don't know it's the first. You don't know it's number one. You don't realize that. Well, so that morning, Wednesday morning, we found out my sister-in-law's van, the company van that she uses to take her clients. She works with disabled autistic people and takes clients to appointments and things like that in the van, but it got stolen. So that was really a bum deal. And then the next thing, I was looking at the computer, and one of I have very few friends. I have maybe 25 friends on Facebook, and so I just looked up Facebook, and there's a candle, and then God bless you, Mark, and that kind of thing. And I thought, oh my gosh. And well, a good friend from where I used to work, 59 years old, passed away unexpectedly. So that was the big news in our industry, Wednesday and Thursday. And then, so that was number two. And then, I don't know, my phone rang, and Larry popped up, and I thought, who the heck is Larry? I mean, he's in my contacts, so I'm supposed to know him. Well, when I answered, then I recognized his voice, and a real good friend of Debbie's husband, friend called me, a retired contractor, and he wanted to talk to Debbie. So they talked, and I didn't listen or anything, but then when they got off, I asked Debbie what's going on, and well, his wife, Debbie's really good friend, Sarah, had been in the hospital for 3 weeks, and they were going to take her off life support the next morning. So I guess that was number 3. So, geez. So, how these individual friends passed away or why, those kind of, I don't know, it's pretty hard to know unless you're, part of the family. So whether it's COVID or, I got, as far as Mark goes, I always was bugging him, even for 10 years ago, I remember bugging him to go to the doctor, and he always had a hard time doing that. So I don't know. So anyway, pretty weird. Like I said, bad news comes in threes. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks for that. And time to ID again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the wave machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Anybody else would like to check into the net? Seeing none, let's go to James, WW7ATS.
Well, I certainly seem to be in the weekend time of high internet usage for CenturyLink. I think I'm on my third reboot on one computer, and I just had to reopen my meetings. So, but I've been able to listen on the 2-meter audio just fine. Well, anyway, let's see. I wish your pet all the best of luck, Ron. I don't know what to say. 15 years old, 14 years old, that's pretty old for a cat. I had my last cat, nobody knew how old she was, but she was very, very old. So it's always painful, even though you know it's going to happen. And Jessica, you're like a financial analyst I knew who always predicted down market. If you just stay consistent, sooner or later you're right, and I think your weather guesser is in that same vein, because I think it is going to be correct. If there's a giant cloud there, then it's matching what our federal government is saying for weather for about the next week. It's supposed to be rainy starting about 11 a.m. tomorrow, and I guess continue on for a few days. We could really use that. My goodness, Richard, van's getting stolen and lost friends. It sounds like you've had a pretty terrible end of the week. My condolences, and I'm mildly curious to know, 59, that's so young, by my yardstick of things. I guess, it wasn't young when I was 16 years old, but it sure is now. I'd be kind of curious to know what the deal was with that. Let's see. For myself, I got something done today. I just bumped into a gentleman through a neighbor who offered to go out on what I call the death side of my house, which is 3 stories up, and he replaced a siding piece, which something had gnawed a giant hole in. And I was watching him work, and I guess that's why I paid him, because he did what would have taken me 3 days, and plus I get to fall to my death, which is an added bonus. So anyway, I painted the board, and he put it in, and actually fixed something else I thought had been fixed some time ago, like when the last roof had been done. So anyway, I guess that gives the illusion of progress here on home repairs and such. Well, with that, this is James WW7ATS Northeast Bellevue. Superb picture tonight, given the weather front coming through. Maybe the weather front's going to come through tomorrow, but rock stable 1.2 gigahertz image. So I don't know how it's coming through on our website, but it certainly is coming through direct quite well. So this is James WW7ATS with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Turning it back to our net control. Dave, take it away.
WW7M, thanks for that, James. Again, this is Dave, 37CYM in Lake City. Oh my, 70 degrees outside and clear. But I guess that we're going to see some raindrops come tomorrow evening. So anyway, get ready for the rain festival starting tomorrow, lasting all next week. And let's see, what else? Got actually anything you want to do in it. It's got heating elements on the top and on the bottom, and it's got a huge circulating fan inside it that works for the turbo section and the air fryer. So anyway, I'm up and running with that. So that's what I'm doing, and let's see. Hold on. I got an appointment to get the booster shot coming up, Pfizer candidate, and I use Kaiser as my medical service. Got a hold of them, and as soon as I could get booked in is the 8th of October, late in the afternoon. So they were pretty well filled up by noon yesterday when I made my appointment to get in. So boy, things are moving with people trying to get that booster shot that are covered by Pfizer. I mean, covered by Kaiser. Kaiser. is a mouthful for you. So anyway, I'll be looking forward to that, and I'll probably be a survivor on the 9th of October after getting that shot. So let's go up to the top of the list again to Ron, 87 QKU.
Okay, thank you, Dave. This is KD7QKU. Well, I guess Lee was enjoying all the wildlife up in this area. It was a lot of fun. And Richard, gee, you had a bad deal there with your friends and everything. I was wondering if whatever happened with that Microsoft deal where the car ran into the building. If there's any follow-up on that. So let's see. Armando came over and finished digging the ditch from the east corner of the garage to the east corner of the house and put the pipe in and got that all hooked up today and covered up, and we put the hose in it before we covered up to make sure everything worked good, everything worked fine. I guess I'm ready for the rain. Oh, and then remember I told you I left the piano in the house we sold? You know, we all assumed that it was a developer that bought the house. They were just going to bulldoze it down. Well, I don't know. Now I'm wondering because the real estate guy called me, Josh, and said, hey, the people that bought the house are complaining about the piano being in it. And he said, I and Jeff had to go over and take it out. So they're both fairly young guys, you know, in their 30s. And Josh said he'd taken his pickup. He said, how did you ever get it in there? You know, he said, we had to disassemble it. I said, good. I said, I left the cart, you just stand it on the cart, and then you just can wheel it right through the door. And he said, well, we got to take the door off. I told him. He said, well, we couldn't figure it out. It was heavy. Oh my goodness, he said it was heavy. He said, but we tore it all to pieces in the back of my truck and going to the dump. So, never-ending story. All right, so I don't know. Maybe someone's going to listen. So, let's see. I guess that's it. I'm glad the downspout got fixed, that's for sure. He had to go underneath the sidewalk, you know, the sidewalk. And then he dug right along the edge of the grass, between the grass and the plants. He's a smart guy. So it didn't really ruin too much of anything. I don't know. He could install his pipe too, so it's not going to fill up with wood. Back to that 87 QKU are thanks for that. And again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society met on the 08 machine on Dave, 87 ZYM. So let's go to Jessica, AS7, QH6.
A little story of the black bear. We had black bear visit us once up in Tenasca when we had our cabin up there, and we left a little bag of groceries with things like maybe some flour and a bottle of like Wesson oil on the back porch. We left it outside because thinking, nobody's going to come and steal my Wesson oil. Well, the bears had showed up with their little babies and destroyed that bag of items and left little paw prints on our back porch. And I took my little Sharpie pen and outlined them so they'd stay there for a while because it was just kind of cute to see the big bear and then a few little small bears that had a little treat to themselves. And they kind of rolled in it and everything else. It was really quite cute. Let's see, one of my favorite radio shows on KUOW is finally retiring. It's the Says You show. It's that word game show where they have these contestants up there and they throw out words and phrases and stuff and have these experts figure them out. And it's always a really entertaining show. And sometimes I actually know the answer, but not usually. That makes it more fun. Richard, yeah, trees. Wow. And 59 years old. My goodness. And a van stolen and someone taking off life support. Wow, that is 1, 2, 3. That's a big hit. We've had years like that where both my parents and Sylvia's parents all died within about 4 years of each other, and it was just like bang, 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 and we were just not ready for it. You don't see it coming, and it's really hard to like you've recovered from that afterwards. James, I got a weather report. Rain. It doesn't say that. I'm just guessing from everything else I've heard. But I just think that's funny that eventually it'll be correct. that was so true. And last thing, I got some wasps that are getting in right next to our dryer vent up at our house up in Mount Vernon. Right to the edge of it, where it's not going into the dryer vent, but it's going probably into the wall. And I've got to go figure out what to do about that. Hopefully there's something over the shelf. Other than that, we might have to go call some professional to come out and treat everything. I really don't want to do that. I'd rather do it myself if I could, because it's just small little bees that are just a little more painful and less useful. So so that's what I have right there on my list. Kaiser. Yeah, it sounds like something you'd go eat at the bagel shop. It's just KF7UHK.
KF7UHK. Let's go to Port Angeles. 772CV. Okay. Well, I don't know. I guess I've got to shut down the audio here from Zoom. So, Ron, tell about your cat. Today we were out in the car doing a little shopping and coming back near downtown. Off to the side, there was a guy that had dogs for sale. AKC Poodle. And there was a name for the kind of poodle it was. So I turned right and circled the block and went by Paul and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm just going to go check on these." Well, we've been threatening to get a dog for a long time. We had dogs for a long time, and then we don't have one to test your cats. So anyway, I thought it'd be fun to look at these things. And they were 8 weeks old, and just as cute as they could be. And he had 2 males, 2 females, and they were trained on those doggy paper things. I forget what you call them. And I said, "Well, what do you want for them?" $1,800. Gee, $1,800. Well, so we chatted a little bit, and then we got in the car and left. But there were a lot of people stopping and looking at those dogs. And I think he sold one while we were right there. Some youngster had it in their arms, and there was an adult there, and it was, well, how much is it, and so forth. The youngster looked at the adult, and so forth. And so I think they actually probably went home with one of those dogs. But they were really nice. They were very sweet. But Paul says, "That could live for 20 years. You're not going to live 20 years. So anyway, we didn't get one. Oh, well. And 7KC, back to you, Dave. 7KC, what a bargain price. Actually, you should get 2 for the price of 1. That type of inflated amount. Let's do the foot, M7CS.
Okay, I will try to move my camera around a bit and see if I can show the new, the lighting's not very good, unfortunately, but that is my radio now in this rack that I put in, but, oh well, maybe more, I'll have better lighting another day. So let me bring it back over to me and turn on the light for my face here, so, but yeah, Ron, sorry to hear about the cat. I was about to think maybe you had brought the dog home, but when I heard the price, I figured, yeah, probably not. I've never gone dog shopping before, so I had no idea they cost that kind of money. I was thinking it'd be like more closer to like $18, not $1,800, but I've always just had cats show up on my front door, and that's how I got them. So that's a lot of money. Wow. Okay. Anyway, this is Bert Marshall, and 7CS back to that.
7CS back to that person. Let's go on to Richard, K7ITX. Okay, real good. We got some, I would say, some decent latency on YouTube tonight, so I'm happy and pleased to report that. And yeah, Ron, that's very sad about the cat. And, our cat's 12 years old. She, I don't know, acts like a kitten, though. Climbed over the backyard fence a week or two ago, and we had trouble finding her, and she's an indoor cat, like, hangs out in the backyard, but if she's, a chipmunk or a bird or a squirrel or snake gets her attention, boy, there's no stopping her, evidently, I thought. So now we make sure there's always a loose leash on the cat's collar so that that will keep her, that really slows her down. So, and yeah, Lee, that bear story, that's really cool. I love wildlife like that. We had a bear in our neighborhood about 3 years ago. I never saw it. I've seen a lot of coyotes, but I haven't seen them lately either. And let's see, Ron, you were asking about the car into the building at Microsoft. I had all the drawings for how the window system's put together. That project was so huge that there were two different commercial glass operations, and the building that got hammered by the car happened to be not one of my buildings. However, I did still have the drawings from that other company and was able to find it. But it was a proprietary system that it would be just too much of a pain for us to get involved, and so we told them who to talk to, and then I don't know if they were going to share the drawings that I found. I certainly thought it would be kind of neat for people to know that I had all the information, and so that was a lot of fun. Let's see. But yeah, 59 years old. I don't know. I will find out. I'm pretty sure, because I will be going out of town again with the race car team, and. Well, usually I'm better than this. Or no, I mean, I'm long-winded, yeah, but I usually know when to unkey or whatever. So all I was going to say, is I am going out of town again. I will probably get the news on, well, I think, you never know why people pass on, and if other people not in the immediate family ever know, but he was working for the company with the owner of the sports car team that I'm with, and maybe I'll find out at that point. So anyway, obviously I've said my 2 cents worth on this round. K7ITX, back to net control. K7ITX, thanks for that. Let's go on to James, WW7ATS.
Well, the bear stories are always interesting. Actually, I think you said they were otters, or maybe sea lions, otters. They're really interesting animals. I had an encounter with a seal a few years back, about a decade ago. And I remember it had this fun game going where the boat that I was on, the hired boat, a lady would go to the side and free dive down and attach the anchor rope to a predetermined eyelet on the bottom of the seabed floor. And the little seal would come down and untie it and then wait to see how long it would take her to come and retie it again, and just kept doing that over and over again. with increasingly complex knots, and I thought the seal was just having a great time. There was a photographer, professional photographer, and I was diving, and for some reason, I think it was because my diopter, my eyeglass correction on my lens was so strong, but for some reason the seal was just fascinated with me. And the photographer, asked me to surface, and I came up and he said, don't turn your back on that animal, because for some reason it was just totally, he was getting way too close for comfort, but it didn't seem in any way hostile. It was just incredibly curious, something about my face or my front, and we figured it might have been the magnification. Maybe you'd never seen a person with eyes so big before. But, so anyway, we never know why. Of course, it could be just my magnetic charming personality. I'm not sure what was happening there. The last bear I think I actually saw was, she was a big old giant sow walking through Issaquah with two cubs. And it was interesting to see who kind of knows wildlife and farm life and who doesn't. The people who knew were all running and, jumping through windows and going through doors and slamming them to get away from mom with the cubs. And all the people who don't understand wildlife or life on a farm, they were all trying to stand out there and get pictures, which I just found that was just fascinating to me. Maybe that's part of bifurcated America today. But yeah, I see a mom anything. I took pictures of a local bobcat cub, I don't know, it's been a year ago now, and I was taking pictures, but I was always thinking, I wonder where mom is, because she's around here somewhere, and she's probably looking at me. And the cub, of course, had absolutely no fear of me whatsoever. I hadn't been urbanized yet. Well, anyway, that's it for me this round. And boy, maybe my Windows 7 computer has finally got some kind of major problem that continuous rebooting won't fix. It's my last Windows 7 operational computer, and it just does not seem to want to connect to the network tonight. But I know it's not the router or my local network in the home here, because I'm talking to you. You guys can still see me, right? On the Zoom? Okay, good. All right, well, with that, then, let me turn it over back to Dave, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Take it away, Dave.
WW7ATS, thanks for that. This is Dave, WW7ATS in Lake City again. Oh my, geez, I was hearing Jessica with a buzzing problem, and I had some bees in my house, and I was trying to figure out what to do about it, and went to the local hardware store, and they suggested pick up an aerosol can, bee and wasp spray, and I picked that up, and it shoots out at like a squirt gun about 8 feet. And they said do it in the evenings and squirt the area down pretty well. And apparently what's in the insecticide, the bees get on their little feet and they take it into their nest. And that causes them to collapse the colony. I had to do that a couple of times, but you don't have to get close, and the spray comes out about 6 feet. It really comes out strong. As a matter of fact, they recommend that over bear spray if you're out camping. It has the same effect on bears with the 6 to 8 feet of spray that comes out. Anyway, that was it. And then getting back to Richard, I feel sorry about it. You can only afford one car seat in that Datsun, so maybe we could get a GoFundMe thing going on the internet and be able to get you a second seat in that vehicle. So anyway, this is Dave, 87BYM in Lake City. And is there anybody else who'd like to join the net to see? Hearing none. So let's go up to the top of the list and go to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, KD7QKU here. Well, I was sitting here wondering if that van was a wheelchair van. It could have been a wheelchair van, maybe a sheet home for disabled people. They're a little more difficult to come by. And Jessica, I agree with Dave. I'd just get a can of wasp spray. I would empty it inside the wall as much as I could, and then you can close it up, and I don't think you'll see them anymore. but I hope those aren't those big killer bees or whatever they have up, by Bellingham. Have you seen them? So, they just found 3 nests up there recently, or 2 or 3. So, I don't know. Something to think about. So, I don't have a little more. I've been like to see the rain kind of wet things down again. They keep putting it off. I thought it was supposed to rain right now, but now they're saying I guess it's going to be noon or after. But that's good. So anyway, that's about it over here. Jackson F. 87 KU.
87 KU. Well, let's go to Jessica. KS17HK. Looks like a little bit about the bugs you guys talked about.
Killer wasps. I don't think they're killer wasps. They didn't look as big as, they look smaller than bumblebees. So they didn't impress me as something really, really dangerous, other than the fact that they were, going in towards the house. Let's see, James, Windows 7, which is what I'm sitting on here, which every now and then blinks out and I have to go restart it because the thing overheats. I had to bring it out of blue screen a long time ago with the old F12 repair mode when you boot up the computer and you go slam on F12 a bunch of times until it finally responds, and then you have choices on things like having it repair itself without changing any programs, and you can do that, but you have to hit F12 a whole bunch of times till it actually takes. So you reboot your machine, and while it's booting up, you hit F12 a whole bunch of times. Eventually it'll say, would you like to repair your computer? And then it'll give you some choices in there. So try that see if you can get past that. Bert, I was going to say, have you been watching the new Survivor? The last time I saw Survivor was the very first one with the guy that ran around naked. And between now and then, just the other day, I went and looked up all the different controversies and things that happened on Survivor, and it's really, really fascinating. So, no, I'm hooked again. I just like watching them in those beautiful locations they're at, and on the big screen. Boy, it just looks just gorgeous. Blue waters and beautiful palm trees. Oh, gorgeous. I think they're in Fiji. And the last thing, is a sea otter and a river otter the same thing? Because once we were down by our boat and there was an otter on the dock, and I thought it was a wet cat, and I thought it was a wet dog. I wasn't really sure. So I got close. I said, this has got to be an otter, because it had a tail and a nose and had whiskers and big eyes. And it decided it wanted to pee on a boat sitting next to, right on the engine section, and where the engine goes. And it looked like a fishing boat. So I think the otter was mad at this boat, or maybe wanted some of the catch that he had brought in, because it was very definitely targeting this boat it was sitting next to. And I was like, well, that's interesting. And lastly, $1,800 for a dog? Heck no. Yeah, my last 2 cats were also either hand-me-downs or cats that showed up on our front porch. So yeah, no, I'm into finding animals that just need homes because they need homes, and so that's what I'm all about. So back to the BNS. This is KF7 UHK.
KF7 UHK, Jessica, thanks for that. Let's go to Port Angeles, to Lee, M7KC. We'll try again for Lee at 7KC. Okay, finally the noise settled down there. I can't turn my transmitter on, or my phone on, activate until it gets totally quiet. So the squatch has to go on the receiver before it can do that. Well, very interesting. Yeah, no, sea otters and river otters aren't the same creatures. We went to there's a lot of people that come over here to Port Angeles and do their thesis presentations and whatnot, at the behest of NOAA and so forth. Anyway, we went to a sea otter presentation 3 or 4 years ago, and turns out off the coast of Western out here, Forget that island up there, but going up toward Nina Bay. That's where most of the sea otters are located. And they actually have, I don't think their hind feet, let's see, the front feet I don't think are webbed. Oh, wait a minute, how is that? Yeah, I think the river otter has webbed front and rear feet. And the sea otters use their tail and their rear webbed feet to propel themselves. And there's a big difference in size as well. I would judge the female yesterday probably weighed, I'd give her 30 pounds, maybe 35. That's probably what she was. And the pups were about 2/3 of that. So I judge that by kind of comparing her to our cat, which is a 19 and a quarter pounder, and just his physical size, and she was definitely bigger than our Tom. Anyway, so I'm going to guess 30 pounds. Anyway, in that time. No, I love the wildlife. Boy, that's one of the big features here. I have seen a cougar. I've seen 2 bobcats. Of course, untold number of deer. I would like to have seen the bear today, but we were just a little bit too late. Just a few minutes. And then the river otter, and we also were watching river otter bring clams up once and beat them on rocks down there by where the pilot boats tie up to eat the innards, you know. And neither of these times did I have my video camera with me. Okay, this is M7KC, Dave, back to you.
M7KC, thanks for that. Let's go to Bert, M7CS.
Well, all this talk about animals and things has reminded me of a story that I don't think I've told before, but hopefully this doesn't sound familiar to anybody. But James was talking earlier about, like, you know if somebody knows how to react to animals or not by what they do. Well, back when I was in Texas, my wife and I, we were at one point looking for some property to buy. So we went out to this piece of property. We got out of the car, we walked inside, like, the grassy area to just kind of check it out. And then a bunch of cows saw us and started coming up to us, maybe 20, 30 cows. My wife and I weren't used to these big cows. We didn't know what to do, so we started running. We started running away, and they kept following us, so we finally just got in the car and peeled out. And then I told, like, another family member when we got home that we were almost attacked by a pack of cows. And they looked at me and they just started laughing. They said, "We need a pack of cows." They were probably just thought you were there to feed them or something. But yeah, so that was scary. I thought they were coming to eat us or something. I didn't know. But anyway, that's it for now. This is Bird Marshall, M7CS, back to that.
7CS. Let's go to Richard. Chase that ICS.
Okay, well, geez, a lot of great stories. That cow story, yeah, I know when I used to live near a field where there were a lot of cows, and as kids, you know, we'd like to feed them, but we were always on the other side of the fence. Unfortunately, though, the path to school was through the cow pasture, and so we always had to make sure the cows weren't looking, or if they just, it's because birds, they would do what you just said. If they saw you, they would just literally start running to you. And, you know, we're just little kids, and we knew that it wouldn't feel too good if they stepped on us. So we just like you said, we would run from them. Just, you know, not because we thought they were going to bite us or hurt us, you know. We just didn't want to get, you know, stepped on by them. They're very, very friendly. Oh, my goodness. They're just the friendliest animals there ever were. And then, but as far as bears go, the deal with the bears, yeah, I always, like when I was in Alaska, kayaking for the first time on, how wicked should I say, we were on Bear Lake. That was literally the name of the lake. But, and
it was my first time in a kayak built for two. I'm pretty sure I told this story. I'm not sure, but there were a couple cubs by the stream inlet and or outlet or whatever you want to call it, looking for fish and stuff. But we were back about 200 yards, 200 or 300 yards. We knew there was going to be a mama bear, and we knew we shouldn't be anywhere near it. But for crying out loud, we're in the middle of a lake in kayaks, 200-300 yards offshore, so I wasn't afraid at all. Until mama bear did come out, and she took it, really hard. You could tell she was looking at it. I don't know how good their vision is, so, maybe she was sniffing, but it looked like she was having a hard time. But next thing you know, I don't know how tall she is, 12, 10 feet, 8 feet. It looked horrifyingly, it looked like a giant. It stood on her hind legs, just like Jessica did, and sadly though, or scaringly, she took a flying leap towards us in the water and started swimming towards us. Oh my God, and I've never been in a kayak before. I had rudder control. My sister starts yelling at me, "You're steering towards the bear." And I go, I know. Anyway, obviously I escaped. But bears, I don't know. I'm very leery of them now, to say the least. So with that, KD7ZYM, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks for that. Let's go to James, WW7ATS.
Well, Richard, I just typed just barely. He just escaped. I don't know how much further the bear would have come after you. Maybe it had just claws for its actions. I don't know. Well, I'll stop. Okay, well, let's see. The thing about cows, again, as a little kid, I had seen dairy cows. And they're very friendly, and they know the routine, and they actually have cow buds. You actually get to know them pretty well. And if you don't put the milker on them correctly, they'll look at you like, do you know what you're doing? And if they get irritated with you, they'll wrap their tail around you, which is pretty disgusting. Well, then I went to North Texas, and it's the only thing similar about the cattle there, the range cattle, is they walk on four legs, and they sort of have a vaguely similar look, because a range cow with a calf just considers any human coming near a coyote on two legs, and they are not at all friendly, and that's what makes when it's time for the range cattle to do its hit its peak of its career, that's what just makes it so much fun to get them into the truck. But I remember one winter it was unusually frozen, and the water source was frozen over. And I remember going out with a big log, and the range cattle were all just bellowing loudly because there was no water, and they consume a lot of water. And so I went out with a big log, and I smashed the ice, which is 3-4 inches thick, and smashed the ice so that they could get. I looked around, and they were all lined up behind me, looking at me. And I thought, okay, note to self, next time I do this, don't allow myself to be surrounded. But they were more interested in the water than me, and there were no young ones that time of the year, so everything worked out okay. I just sort of inched off to the side, and they just kept coming closer and closer, and finally, we're sloping. But there's always an alpha in any herd like that, and she was looking at me out of the side. And I was built on the side for just that reason. So she was sloping the water up, and I could tell she was all focused on me as I was inching away off to the side. So that's my cow story for the evening. Sometimes when you try and help something, you got to be careful. So anyway, that's it for me. We got 6 minutes left, so let's see if we can make the round again. This is James WW7M with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Dave, take it away.
WW7M. Talk about cows. I can remember early in my career, I was in Eastern Washington, and there was a sign that said Steptoe Butte. I always heard that's a neat drive to go up. So I got on the road to go
up to Steptoe Butte, and there was a big fence all the way around the area, and I noticed there was a bull in the field about 300 yards away. So I stopped the car, I got out, got a camera, I was going to get a picture of the bull, and it was like, I must have thought I was a matador or something. His feet started stomping on the ground, he was snorting, and he started taking a couple of steps like he was threatening to charge. So I decided it was a good idea to sit back in the car and leave and go to the top of the Butte. He definitely wanted to control his area, that was for sure. So that's my full story. This is 87 BYM. Let's go up to 87 BKU.
Oh my. 87 BKU. Well, Lee, I have a thought for you. You know, if you really want a dog, a lot of times folks pass away and they have pets, and they're older and they need someone needs to, you know, adopt them and take them in. So if you really want a dog, you could probably get a hold of Humane Society or some veterinary hospital, put the word out that you would give a home to an elderly dog, and you probably would get one. So, you know, they're nice pets. So it's something to think about. Be good for the dog and maybe good for you, right? Cows. Yeah, no, I have a few cow stories because I grew up in Eastern Washington, but probably one of my favorite, I guess, is we were over there, I was over there duck hunting with a guy named Mike, and it was in the evening and the ducks were trying to come into this field. They were just coming into this field just thick. So we stopped and we asked the farmer, can we go hunt in your field? Oh yeah, sure, he said, go hunt in the field. So we had like white sheep and there was snow on the ground and there was some, you know, corn stubble and stuff. So we dash out there and we lay down, cover up, and sit there, and ducks, they just didn't want to come in. They just wanted to go someplace else. Couldn't figure out what was going on. So finally we heard some noise and we set up and looked around. And there was, like you were saying, 15 or 20 cows that appeared out of nowhere, and they were in a circle around us. They were about way. They were all looking at us, and of course they were scaring all the ducks away. We didn't get to shoot any ducks in that. Yeah, cows are really curious. Anyway, all right, that's about it. 73s, everybody. Thanks for all the good stories. Richard, I'd heard the story before, but it was really good. It's a good story, really good story. So anyway, that was probably one of those canvas or blow-up kayaks. Probably one swipe, it would have been flat. Oh boy. Anyway, I think that's the same thing. All right. Good night, everybody.
87 BKU, the medic knowledge is free. W7ATS. Just check that video. So, what say you?
W7ATS here. Don't have a lot to talk about other than just working on the house today. We installed we call it a barn door, and it turned out pretty good. That was on the bathroom. Let me see if I can show that. Let's see if I can get that to come up on the screen. Let's move that up the list. Alright, let's see. Hey, there we go. The barn door is installed. So now we have a functional door on our bathroom and our bedroom. We don't have anything else to really say, and talk to you guys on later. So thanks for letting me join, and 73 everybody.
Thanks for that, Larry. Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, 87 BYM. I'd like to thank the owners and operators of the 08 machine, the CTAC Repeater Group, for allowing us to utilize the repeater for our voice transmissions on our video nets held on Wednesdays and Saturdays until 8 and 9 o'clock. So anybody wanting to find out more about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, Google WW7ATS or WW8S. Go to our homepage information about our operation. Define their frequencies and contacts. So with that, this is Dave, 87CYM, signing off on behalf of the